Coming up, we'll tell you what we know about a fire in the east central part of Yankton.
Plus, what high school students are learning during their visit to Dakota State University this week. Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day. Crews in Yankton responded to a Tuesday afternoon fire near Beadle Elementary School. Around 5 o'clock, firefighters were called to the central part of the city for reports of a fire. Crews first on scene found heavy fire in the back of the home extending into the attic. They also found a propane tank feeding the fire, as well as a downed power line that was arcing. The department says the fire was caused by a leaking fitting between the propane tank and grill. No one was hurt. Law enforcement in western KELOLAND are looking for this person who broke into and vandalized the White River School early Tuesday morning. Authorities posted these surveillance pictures on Facebook. As you can see in this photo, the person appears to be holding a handgun. If you recognize the suspect, call the sheriff's office. That number is at the bottom of your screen. South Dakota's Highway Patrol is investigating after a deadly crash southeast of Millbank. Around 2:45 Tuesday afternoon, a car was heading south on 482nd Avenue when it crossed into the northbound lane and collided with a semi. The 16-year-old driver of the car was pronounced dead at the scene. 32-year-old driver of the semi was not hurt. Turning to weather now, another hot day on tap across KELOLAND. Let's send it over to meteorologist Brian Karstens to see when that could change.
All right, watching that in the extended forecast, but not today. It's going to be hot out there. Temperature forecast is close to 100 or better in Aberdeen, Huron, also Mitchell and Winter. And you'll see that on our advisory graphic here for the afternoon. So officially 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock this evening on that. And heat indices between 100 and 110. So please make sure you're well prepared and hydrated if you have to be working in the heat. Wind advisory for the far west. That story, of course, it's not as hot, rapid at 90, but the wind 30 to 50. That's a lot of wind there in the month of June. Of course, it's a drying wind too behind this front. Well, Sioux Falls today at 97. We do see some isolated activity in the forecast. We'll talk about that coming up.
Thanks, Brian. The Sioux Falls City Council decided yesterday to require any medical marijuana establishment to apply for a license or permit from the city.
But there is a catch. The permit or license to run such an establishment is not going to be accepted until there are rules set up by the State Department of Health. South Dakota voters approved medical marijuana when they voted yes on Initiated Measure 26 in 2020. It will go into effect in 15 days on July 1st. But making the rules won't wrap up until after that. The South Dakota Department of Health's website says the department will start giving out patient cards by November 18th. Last year, the Siouxland Library's bookmobile had to stay in park due to the COVID-19 pandemic. With people getting vaccinated and restrictions loosening, it's on the move once again.
They recently stopped at Stepping Stones Preschool in Hartford, South Dakota. It's just one stop on their summer-long tour of delivering books to children.
We come to Hartford every month for the downtown Hartford market. We have hydrant parties coming up. We have reading invasions coming up. We've just been really excited to be back on the road.
Keeping COVID in mind, they only allow 5 students, one at a time. They'll visit the daycare every 3 weeks. A week-long Gen Cyber Camp is underway at Dakota State University this week. About 130 high school students are learning all things cyber, including programming, networking, and cybersecurity. Students say participating in camps like this can help them get a better understanding about future careers.
I'm considering going into computer science. It's between this and English, so two varying topics, but the camp helps me understand more of what I'm interested in, because there's broad topics and it kind of narrows down on what you would be interested in.
Students from 16 states are at the camp. It's sponsored by the National Security Agency.
And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, severe weather risk map. I just want to point this out because if we get a thunderstorm, and that's a big if, but the possibilities there. Watertown, and you go down to Sioux Falls, there's that chance going into the late evening and overnight that something forms and then kind of heads through Minnesota, perhaps into northern Iowa. There are some indicators suggesting that as we take upon the latest on FUTURECAST. First story is the south wind ahead of the front, so that'll be pushing that mercury higher. Nothing going on here through midday of any substantial nature. Otherwise, just that strong wind in western South Dakota out of the northwest. What you're going to see here is once in a while we may get a blip or two on radar into western Minnesota. The latest thinking is by evening, there is still a possibility of something here around Sioux Falls. So I don't want to throw it out altogether, but I do want to be careful that, you know, these kind of depictions here can be a bit over-optimistic given the lack of moisture. But there is some humidity in the air. Sioux Falls, I've been noticing that some of the new data is pointing at, 60-degree dew points. So after a really hot day, we could pop a storm with that in mind. Just the fact the instability will be a little bit better. But, yeah, it's one of those things you'll be watching radar. And if you see something, it might very well go by your house. But at any rate, that's what we see. Tomorrow, a little cooler. 90 still likely in the south. We might see a shower in the morning around Mobridge and Aberdeen behind the frontal passage. And then that chance of a thunderstorm Thursday evening. Still that possibility in northwest Iowa, but that window may close quickly as the vast majority of the dynamics go east into parts of Iowa. But you can see right there, FutureCast lends itself to that thinking around Spencer, Iowa. Now, I want to kind of hold on to that idea too there. Well, let's put together the numbers here. 100 today, Pierre, 101 in Mitchell. Relief on the 7-day. Well, at least we're knocking the temperature down a little bit. I'm going to tell you a couple things, though. Friday, Saturday, the air is drier. The daytime high, because of the dry ground, is going to probably get close to 90, 88 to 90, somewhere in there. Sunday has the possibility of warming up a little more than our forecast because we're anticipating the timing on that cold front. Now, that cold front will get here, and it will bring a good temporary relief to the heat. We'll get some 70s. I'm hopeful we could get 2 of those days. The 3rd day might be a stretch. In fact, some of the newest data is kind of supporting going back the other direction after day 7. So let's see if we can get some rain Sunday. If that's our hope, at least something. But in a drought year, it's tough. I mean, these are challenging things here that we're working with. And we see those 80s in Aberdeen, at least through the weekend. I think Pierre also plenty warm, still behind the initial front here at 88 on Friday. And there might even be a 90-degree reading around, including Rapid City on Saturday. But Sunday's the day to watch radar and see if we can see some clusters of thunderstorms in parts of the northern plains. Check out details right here online at KELOLAND.com and stay cool.